What if we could manipulate materials at an atomic level and change their properties to our liking? This is not a plot of a sci-fi movie, but the reality of nanotechnology. Nanotechnology, as the name suggests, deals with the nano, or the extremely small. To give you a sense of scale, a single nanometer is 1/1,000,000th of a meter. Imagine, if you will, a world where we have the ability to control and manipulate matter at this almost inconceivably small scale. This is the world of nanotechnology, a field that's as exciting as it is revolutionary. But why does this matter? Why should we care about things that are so small we can't even see them? Well, it's because at this nanoscale, the rules of the game change. The properties of materials can be different, sometimes dramatically so, from what we're used to on a macro scale. And this opens up a whole new world of possibilities. Already, nanotechnology is making waves across various fields. In medicine, it's promising more targeted drug delivery and better imaging techniques. In electronics, it's allowing us to develop smaller, more powerful devices. And in the field of energy, it's paving the way for more efficient solar cells and batteries. But it's not just about what we can do now. The potential of nanotechnology is vast. Some scientists believe that it could lead to the development of materials with incredible properties, like superstrength or invisibility. Others see it as a way to solve some of our biggest challenges, like clean energy and disease. Of course, harnessing the power of the nano world is no easy task. It requires precision, control, and a deep understanding of the laws of physics. And this is where the two main approaches to nanotechnology come into play. At the heart of nanotechnology lie two approaches, top-down and bottom-up. But what do they mean? Let's dive in. Imagine chiseling a sculpture from a block of marble. That's somewhat how the top-down approach in nanotechnology works. It's all about starting big and working your way down. Imagine a puzzle that starts with the completed picture, and then you break it apart piece by piece. This approach begins with a larger system, which is then miniaturized or reduced to the size needed. It's like a journey from the macroscopic to the microscopic, a downward trek into the world of the infinitesimally small. Now let's talk about some practical examples. Consider lithography, a process widely used in microelectronics. This technique involves projecting an image of the circuit design onto a silicon wafer. Then, the exposed areas are etched away, leaving behind the desired miniature structures. It's like using a high-precision beam of light to carve your masterpiece. Another example is the use of etching. Here, the process involves removing material to create patterns. It's like the careful hand of an artist scraping away at a canvas. But in this case, the canvas could be a semiconductor material, and the artist's tool, a beam of ions. These top-down techniques are popular in the manufacturing of electronic devices. Think about the microprocessor in your computer or the memory chip in your smartphone. These tiny components, packed with millions of transistors, are the results of top-down fabrication. However, it's important to note that the top-down approach doesn't come without its challenges. The smaller the structures we want to create, the more precise our tools and techniques need to be. And as we delve deeper into the nanoscale, we reach a limit to how much we can minimize using these methods. Nevertheless, the top-down approach has been instrumental in driving advances in technology. It has paved the way for the miniaturization of electronic devices, making them more efficient and powerful. The top-down approach is like the master sculptor, carving intricate details from a larger block. But what if we could build our sculpture atom by atom? Stay tuned as we explore the flip side of the coin, the bottom-up approach in nanotechnology. Scene script. Ever built something using building blocks? That's quite like the bottom-up approach in nanotechnology. Imagine you're a nanotechnologist with an array of molecular building blocks at your disposal. In the bottom-up approach, you're not breaking larger structures down into smaller ones. Instead, you're assembling these tiny components into more complex structures. It's a bit like building a house with bricks, but at a molecular level. You might wonder, how does one assemble molecules? Well, there are several ways. One of them is chemical synthesis, which is a process used to create new compounds from simpler ones. Picture it like this. You're a chef, and each molecule is an ingredient. You mix and combine these in a specific order and under certain conditions to create a new complex dish, or in this case, a new compound. Another method is self-assembly. This is when molecules arrange themselves into ordered structures due to their natural tendencies. It's akin to magnets that naturally attract and align with each other. The beauty of self-assembly lies in its simplicity. Nature does the work for us, and we just need to provide the right environment and conditions. These bottom-up methods allow us to create complex nanostructures with precision and control. For instance, scientists have used these techniques to create nanowires, nanoparticles, and even nanorobots. But it's not just about building things at the nanoscale. This approach also has profound implications for our understanding of how matter behaves at this tiny scale. It allows us to explore and manipulate the unique properties of materials that only emerge at the nanoscale. So the bottom-up approach is akin to an architect, building intricate structures block by block. But how do these two approaches compare? Scene script: top-down or bottom-up. Each approach to nanotechnology has its own strengths and weaknesses. Diving into the comparison, we can see that the top-down approach is often favored for its ability to handle bulk applications. This process, which starts with a larger material and whittles it down to the nanoscale, is like a skilled sculptor chiseling away at a block of marble, crafting intricate designs from a larger piece. However, the method isn't perfect. The precision can sometimes leave a bit to be desired, as it's inherently difficult to control the exact size and shape of the nanoparticles created. On the flip side, the bottom-up approach is like an artist carefully placing each individual brushstroke to create a masterpiece. This method, which involves building up from individual atoms or molecules, can achieve a high degree of precision. With this approach, scientists can create nanoparticles with specific properties, tailoring them to be just right for a particular application. But, as you might imagine, this process is time-consuming and complex. Scaling it up to create large quantities of nanoparticles is a significant challenge. So, which approach is better? Well, that's like asking if a sculptor is better than a painter. The answer depends on what you're trying to achieve. If you need a large quantity of nanoparticles and exact precision isn't critical, the top-down approach might be your best bet. But if you require nanoparticles with very specific properties and you're willing to invest the time and resources, the bottom-up method could be the way to go. In reality, though, it's not about choosing one approach over the other. More often than not, these two methods are used in conjunction, complementing each other in various applications. They're two sides of the same coin, each with unique strengths that can be leveraged depending on the situation. Both approaches have their places in nanotechnology, often complementing each other in various applications. Nanotechnology, with its top-down and bottom-up approaches, is not just a buzzword. It's a revolution in making and shaping the world around us. We've journeyed through the fascinating realm of nanotechnology, delving into the intricacies of both top-down and bottom-up methods. We've seen how the top-down approach carves out nanostructures from larger materials, much like a sculptor chiseling a masterpiece from a block of marble. On the other side, we've discovered the bottom-up approach, where atoms and molecules self-assemble into nanostructures. It's akin to building a complex structure with a set of building blocks. Both methods offer their unique advantages and limitations. The top-down approach provides us with better control over the process, but the cost and potential damage to the material are its downsides. On the other hand, the bottom-up approach is cost-effective and environmentally friendly, but lacks precise control over the final structure. Now let's gaze into the future. The implications of nanotechnology are as vast as the nano world itself. In medicine, nanotechnology could help design precision drugs that target only diseased cells, reducing side effects and increasing effectiveness. In energy, nanomaterials could lead to more efficient solar panels, batteries, and fuel cells. In computing, nanotechnology may pave the way for quantum computers that dwarf today's most powerful supercomputers. It's not only about creating new materials and devices, but also about transforming existing ones. Imagine clothes that can change color at the press of a button, cars that can self-repair minor scratches, or windows that can automatically adjust their tint based on sunlight. Yet it's important to remember that the road to these exciting possibilities is paved with challenges. Ethical, safety, and environmental concerns need careful consideration. Public understanding and acceptance of nanotechnology are crucial. Researchers, policymakers, and society must work hand in hand to ensure that nanotechnology's promise is realized responsibly and equitably.